The modern era of sports can be traced to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when organized competitions began to emerge in Europe and the United States. Sports like soccer, baseball, basketball, and tennis transitioned from recreational games into highly structured professional leagues. Initially, these leagues were small, localized events, but they laid the foundation for what would later become global spectacles. Love what you're watching. Scan the QR on the screen to join the community. The major turning point for sports as an industry occurred after the Second World War. The 1950s saw the rise of television, which allowed sports to reach a broader audience. This period marked the beginning of sports broadcasting, and with it, the commercialization of sports. The idea of sports as a spectacle, something that could generate revenue through media exposure, began to take hold. The development of media platforms, particularly television networks, played a pivotal role in promoting sports, allowing sports leagues to expand their reach and increase their revenue. The 1960s and 1970s saw the emergence of national sports leagues, such as the National Football League, NFL, Major League Baseball, MLB, and National Basketball Association, NBA, all of which started to see significant growth in terms of popularity and media coverage. Broadcasting deals became more lucrative, and sports leagues began to attract sponsors looking to tap into the growing audiences watching these events. One of the most significant milestones in this era was the commercialization of the FIFA World Cup, which became a global media and advertising phenomenon. By 1998, the tournament had attracted millions of viewers worldwide, with sports have been an integral part of human culture for centuries, with their origins tracing back to ancient civilizations like the Greeks, Egyptians, and Romans. However, over the last few decades, sports have evolved from simple recreational activities into a multifaceted global business worth over $1 trillion. This transformation has not only impacted athletes, coaches, and fans, but it has revolutionized industries such as broadcasting, marketing, and sponsorships, while also affecting politics, economics, and society. In this documentary, we will delve into the forces that have driven the growth of the global sports industry, the key players involved, and how the intersection of media, entertainment, and commerce has led to $1 trillion business, the birth of modern companies scrambling to secure sponsorship deals. This was a precursor to the broader trend in sports, where global sports events began to draw vast amounts of media attention and commercial investment. The Olympics, which had traditionally been a biennial event limited to specific countries, evolved into a massive global event. The 1980s and 1990s saw the Olympics become an even more commercialized enterprise, with corporate sponsors such as Coca-Cola, Visa, and McDonald's forming long-term partnerships. These partnerships helped fund the event and amplified the exposure of the Games, turning them into a global marketing tool for multinational companies. As sports events grew in scale and global reach, they began to influence the 24/7 sports economy. Networks like ESPN, Sky Sports, and others became household names, and sports programming began to dominate television schedules worldwide. In parallel, the internet age also led to the emergence of online streaming services, creating an additional revenue stream for leagues, clubs, and athletes. The explosion of media rights and broadcasting deals. Arguably the most significant contributor to the growth of the sports industry over the last few decades is the massive increase in media rights and broadcasting deals. The ability to broadcast live sports events to millions of homes across the globe has become a key revenue source for professional sports leagues and organizations. In the United States, the National Football League, NFL, has long been a major beneficiary of broadcasting rights. The NFL's television contracts, which are worth billions of dollars, allow the league to reach a wide audience, and the high demand for games has made the NFL one of the most profitable sports organizations in the world. Similarly, the NBA, MLB, and National Hockey League, NHL, have signed lucrative broadcasting contracts that ensure the league's games are available to fans worldwide. The same trend has occurred across the globe in other major sports. The English Premier League, EPL, for example, has seen its media rights skyrocket in recent years. International broadcasters pay billions to air EPL matches in countries around the world, and this influx of money has helped drive up the cost of player salaries, leading to higher stakes and more intense competition in the league. In many ways, the money generated by media rights deals has contributed to the increasing commercialization of sports, as teams and athletes become more financially incentivized to perform at their highest levels. One of the key factors that have driven the explosion of media rights deals is the fact that sports are one of the last forms of live programming that still attract large audiences. As traditional TV viewing habits shift in the digital age, live sports provide a unique draw for advertisers and broadcasters who seek to engage viewers in real time. This dynamic has made sports broadcasting one of the most valuable assets in media today. Additionally, the data-driven revolution extends to fan engagement. Fans now have access to a wealth of statistics, live metrics, and other forms of real-time data during games, enhancing their overall experience. Companies like Opta and Stats Perform specialize in providing granular data that is now widely consumed by broadcasters, journalists, and fans. Fantasy sports, particularly in the United States, have become a billion-dollar industry, driven by fan engagement and the use of detailed statistical data to build virtual teams. This shift towards data-driven fan interaction has opened up new avenues for monetization. One of the most disruptive technological forces in the global sports industry is sports betting. The widespread legalization of sports betting in places like the United States and parts of Europe has fueled a surge in gambling on live sporting events. In 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned a federal ban on sports betting, allowing individual states to legalize and regulate betting markets. Since then, major sports leagues like the NFL, NBA, and MLB have partnered with gambling companies to incorporate betting into their business models. This development is reshaping the economic landscape of sports, creating new revenue opportunities through sponsorships, partnerships, and even betting-driven media content. The importance of sports infrastructure and global events stadiums, like the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys, or the Allianz Arena in Munich, Germany, have become iconic symbols of their respective leagues and countries. These venues are not just places for sporting events, they are entertainment complexes designed to host concerts, corporate events, and other activities. Sponsorship and marketing have long been key revenue drivers in the sports industry. However, the traditional model of corporate sponsorship is being disrupted by the changing expectations of fans, as well as the rise of digital and social media. Brands are now focusing on more direct engagement with consumers, especially through platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Digital marketing and e-commerce have also played a significant role in expanding the sports industry. Teams, leagues, and athletes now use social media platforms to market merchandise, engage with fans, and promote events. Social media campaigns have become an integral part of sports marketing, with viral moments and memes often driving huge boosts in visibility for brands. The use of digital platforms for direct-to-consumer sales has also opened new revenue channels for teams and athletes, allowing them to monetize their fan base in ways that were previously impossible. The future of the trillion-dollar sports industry. Second, technological advancements such as artificial intelligence, AI, virtual reality, VR, and blockchain could revolutionize the way fans interact with sports. AI is already being used in sports analytics to enhance player performance, and VR could offer fans an entirely new level of immersion in live sporting events. Blockchain, with its ability to offer secure, transparent transactions, could also play a role in ticketing, merchandise, and even fan voting systems for team decisions. The global business of sports has become a trillion-dollar industry through a combination of technological innovation, international expansion, strategic partnerships, and the rise of digital platforms. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, sports will continue to be a source of entertainment, economic growth, and cultural influence. The next phase of this evolution will see the sports industry become even more diversified, with new opportunities and challenges on the horizon. In the end, the future of sports will be defined not only by the games played on the field, but also by the continued blending of media, entertainment, and business on a global scale. The game is no longer just about winning. It's about winning in the global marketplace. Scan the QR code to join the community.